Hello everybody. So I am going to give you guys some background on my YouTube series, not my YouTube series, my new movie series. I have never made any other movie except for a short movie on Movie Star Planet, so I'm like really taking my time with this because I want it to be perfect. Also, I still need cast members, so I cannot quite start making it yet. Anyway, so let me show you the art books I have made. If Movie Star Planet will load. Okay, so this was my first casting art book. If it will load. Uh, yeah. Okay. Alright, so these are the characters so far. Okay, so I need one more hospital staff with the shirt with the tag, Um, I have one of those shirts, so I am totally willing to gift one to somebody if they will be in my movie. Like, just message me and be like, I want to be in the movie. Send me that shirt because I seriously need something because I want to start making this movie. Okay, anyway, the main. This is. Okay. The first thing I should probably say is this is based off of a true story. I will tell you later there are a few things that are tweaked to make it a little bit more movie worthy, but it is based off a true event. So obviously I'm going to be the main character because it was my personal experience. And Ben, which my movie star Planet Bay is playing. And then Okami is playing Jade. And then one of my good friends is playing Kate. And then Kira, I think her name is, I forget. She's inactive or she gave her account away, but I'm still leaving her in the movie because like her braces and stuff are perfect for this. Comment below if you think I should record myself on Booty Planet, which I don't really go on Booty Planet a lot, so I don't know what I would record myself doing. Anyway, I'm not even gonna try to say her name, but she's one of the nurses or whatever, hospital staff. And then Baby Panda is also one of the hospital staff. And then Amara is played by Maps42. And then my friend Panda is gonna play the fuckboy, aka Jesse, which is perfect for him. Just kidding, I love you, Panda. And then Alex, he wanted to play Ben, I think, but like his he didn't have like the right clothes or something. So I was just like, I'll find you a place because he really wanted to be in a movie. So I just, I added a character which I, was still a person that was in the real event. And then she's playing my mom. If it will pull up her profile, Green Yoshi. I'm also looking for one more person other than a hospital staff, somebody that has kind of like a hippie vibe kind of look outfit. I don't know, kind of like a long scarf or something like that, I'll have to make a look of something that I want her to wear so people know. Anyway, so the main characters. Oh yeah, the series is called 2 Weeks of Insanity, and So Emma and Ben are in a relationship at the time. Um, Ben was a real person, or is a real person. He was my boyfriend when I went through all of the struggles, and I was in 8th grade at the time. I tried to do the math. We were 14, I think. Well, I was. No, I was 13, I guess. I'm not positive on the age thing. I was in 8th grade, if that tells you anything. Um, I also kind of changed everybody's looks a little bit in this one, just because I liked how, I don't know, I kind of changed it up a little bit. And so Ben is 14, I'm 13. They're currently in a relationship. Ben often visits Emma in the hospital and sends her letters. Reasons for being submitted: apparently suicidal, overdosed. Jesse, 16, the hospital, F-boy or fuckboy, in a relationship with Kate, scared of Jade. Rich boy, reason for being submitted: choked out his maid, she didn't butter his toast. That last part was a little add-on to make it a little interesting. I mean, like, I gotta spoof it up a little bit, but at least I'm telling you, that obviously didn't really happen. The person that he's based off of was a rich kid. He often wore button-up collared shirts buttoned all the way up with a sweater vest, nice khaki pants, and polished shoes every day, while everyone else was, like, in sweats and stuff like that. And he also, I'm pretty sure he was probably in there for, like, emotional issues or anger issues, something. I have no idea, because we didn't really get to talk about it. Like, we didn't talk to the boys a lot. The only interaction girls and boys would have together is if they went to school at the hospital, which I did not, because I was only there for 2 weeks. So Jade, 14, tomboy, could beat up, oh shoot, I misspelled. I'll have to fix that. Could beat up Jesse. Anger issues, Kate's BFF, reason for being submitted: jabbed someone with a pencil in the leg. More like stabbed. I couldn't put that in because I didn't, like, it was too hard to get censored or whatever. But she did stab people with pencils. That's why when we were in the hospital we were not allowed pencils, because she had a history of stabbing people with pencils. Okay, Kate, bad home life. BFF is Jade, wears too much makeup. Jesse's main. Low-key rude, reason for being submitted: self-harm. I hope nobody gets offended that I am giving out um, personal information on people, because I am not giving away their identity. I switched up the names, except for me and Ben, because people already know my name, and Ben, he's a friend of mine, he did not mind. I mean, people don't know who he is, they don't know his last name, they don't know what he looks like, they don't know where he's from. He sees no issue with it. But these are all made up names, except for Mara, too, also, because she's a friend of mine, which we actually went to school together, and she just showed up at the hospital, and I was surprised. Anyway, with Kate, she often wore a lot of makeup even though we were in a hospital. She flirted with everybody. She made uh, compliments that had a negative side, like she'll be like, "Oh, your makeup looks so good. You can't even see your acne," or something like that. Like something that could be interpreted as very rude. And then she showed up there because I'm not really sure exactly why she was there, but she self-harmed, so that's what I'm going to assume. I mean, I didn't really talk to everybody about the specific reason they're there, so I'm kind of, once again, assuming a little bit, or like, I don't know how to explain it. But one of the things with her is she had self-harmed and then bit the cut so it would get infected. And Sophie, she was really young. She did not have blonde hair. I was originally looking for somebody with orange hair, but I couldn't really find it. But she fit the part so well that I just said, screw it, whatever. Justin Bieber's her true love. Bieber fever, anger issues, could take on a full-grown man, which is true. Reason for being submitted: beat up her parents. She did. She often bragged about how she abused her parents or whatever, and she was so young, and it was just so shocking and overwhelming to hear a child talking like that. She often was one of the kids that took on the adults because the staff would tackle you if you started running or, or you were showing aggression, and that was often the case with her. Um, she was not liked at all. Us older girls were very annoyed with her. And then Amara, we went to school together. She does not go to school with me anymore, but we knew each other at school. She was super insecure. She was uh, bisexual, and she kind of had a crush on everybody she met. She thinks everybody's hot, literally, like anybody she meets, she's like, oh, they're so hot. Reason for being submitted, depressed, hurt herself, so self-harm. Let me. Okay, so while you watch this, I'm going to give you some background that is not going to be um, in the movie because it's not really that easy. So when I was in 8th grade, well, actually, I started self-harming when I was in 6th grade. I am in no way supporting it. I am absolutely against it. It helps nothing. Anyway, when I was in 6th grade, I started like scratching because on social media there was a lot of posts about self-harming and how it helps, or things like that. People are like glamorizing it. And so I started scratching at first, like with a dull knife or dull blade, something like that. Um, and then once I got in 7th grade, you start talking to boys more, and a specific boy really made me trust him, and then he hurt me very badly. And then the summer before 8th grade, that's when that happened. And so going into 8th grade, actually, like the summer before 8th grade, I cut very deeply into my thigh, which is the scar is like covered up or camouflaged with my tattoo now. That's the reason for the tattoos, to cover up the self-harm scars right there. Anyway, in 8th grade, then, um, I grew up with two best friends, and I'm just going to call them C and T for privacy reasons. And C was the one that we both got along with, and me and T clashed often. We saw things very differently, and we argued all the time. Anyway, in 8th grade, me and T got in a full-blown argument up and down the hall. We were screaming at each other, and it was just an awful day for me because I had started going on depression medication because my mom found out about the cutting and they knew it was a problem. So I was on medication at the time, but since it was my first medication, it was not perfected for me. And with that medication, it was a side effect that you would often think about suicide or attempting suicide, but you wouldn't actually do it. So they're like, oh, you're going to be fine because, you think about it, but people don't act on it. So I was like, okay, I'll try this medication and we'll see how it goes and we'll tweak it from there. Well, I didn't really get that far because that night after the argument, it really exploded. Her I am not exactly innocent, obviously. Like, there's two parts to a fight, but I feel like she went way over the edge, and she had her older sister, like, and her older sister's boyfriend, who was 18, messaging me and commenting on my Facebook saying a bunch of rude things, calling me names that I would prefer not to say on here. Like, I'll swear, but it's still kind of a kid's thing. So, and then I went to a friend of mine that was in 6th grade at the time while I was in 8th grade, and I knew she had some, like, emotional problems too, so I was just like, this is how I'm feeling, like, I really am feeling slightly suicidal. I was just like crying for help, trying to get somebody to show that they care, being like, I need help right now. And they're just like, I don't care. They straight up told me that they didn't care if I did anything to myself. And so that was kind of my breaking point. And I know I said I had a boyfriend and he was my boyfriend, but I don't know if he was busy at the time. We didn't talk about it. Like he wasn't there or something, I guess. I don't know. He wasn't there for me that night. And so I just kind of went over the edge, and I took 20 plus pills 20 of my antidepressants, and then a bunch of random other ones, so probably like 30 pills. And I collect knives, and so then I took my knives and put them under the Christmas tree, and I wrote like a note to my mom saying, "This is what I did. I'm sorry. Here's my knife, so I don't hurt myself anymore," because I knew she would turn the lights off on the Christmas tree. And yes, this takes place in December. Okay, and then so I go upstairs and I'm laying down. And I'm just like, it's like people. The thing that you know when somebody is looking for attention and they say, "I tried to overdose and I just felt my life slipping away and I was just so calm, I felt like I was going to pass out." No, no, no. Your heart is racing. You are like, it is terrifying because you're so wired or something. It's hard to explain. You're not calm. You are sick to your stomach. You are so awake. And my mom came in, she's like, I have to call poison control. And so, when they make a report, they have to tell the ER that I'm gonna come in to get tested or to be watched, whatever, because it was I could have had a seizure during the night. My mom didn't want to take the chance, like, obviously. So we went to the hospital, they took a bunch of tests, and then I had to stay there for like 9 hours, and so like 3 in the morning, I don't really get to say goodbye to my mom or give her a hug goodbye, and I'm put in the back of a cop car. Funny thing is, before I got in, he's like, "You're not gonna run, are you?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Then I won't cuff you." So got to sit in the back of a cop car. He asked what kind of music I liked. Like, I appreciated the kindness so much. Like, he was worried about me. Like, he cared about how comfortable I was. Um, I was brought to the mental institute, and they had to check me in, and they stood me in front of a green, uh, what's it called, poster board, and took my picture, and it's an awful picture. It's absolutely awful. Um, oh, sorry. I have asthma, and it's hard to breathe sometimes, so I have to yawn to get a deep breath. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm gonna leave off. I had to, once I got up to my floor, I was in Sherman Hall or something. The girls and boys are separated, and gave me like a TB test. It's where they shoot something into your arm and then it bubbles up, and then like there's something like if it deflates or if it doesn't deflate or deflates, whatever, like you're positive or something like that. I didn't have TB, so like I'm not sure how that went, but they did that test, drew more blood, yada yada yada, and then put me in the SUV room for like, it's for late arrivals, so we get to sleep in or whatever. And I was just so tired. I was blank at that point. I didn't even know what was going on. So that is my story. I'm going to be trying to portray it the best I can. I'm also going to be making short YouTube videos, kind of explaining things better, because there were some funny moments and some okay moments that I'm going to like kind of tell better. You know, it's not going to really be a series, I guess you could say. It's going to be different segments as parts of my story. Other parts I'm going to talk to you about on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this is such a long video. I'm not going to be able to shorten it or speed it up because it is me talking, so I can't really speed that up real well. So thank you so much for watching. I am all about creating awareness about suicide and mental health and self-harm, because it was so hard for me to not know anything about it, so I just want to make sure no other children or kids make the same mistake I did. So thank you guys so much. Love you. Bye.